My backstabbing son-in-law crept into my room at 2 a.m., thinking he'd rob me blind to pay his gambling debts. But when my trap lit him up like a neon traitor, his world crumbled in a glow of epic justice. This is my story of fighting for family and justice. If it hits home, please, share it with folks you care about, and join me by subscribing. Let's dive into this wild ride. You ever sit in a quiet house feeling like the walls are whispering memories? That's me in Coeur d'Alene, a sleepy suburb where nothing happens except maybe a cat stuck in a tree. I'm Henry, 68, a retired cop who's seen enough to spot trouble a mile away. For 10 years, it's just been me and this old house holding on to my Margaret. She's been gone a decade now, cancer took her, but her antique safe upstairs keeps her close. Her wedding ring, a few love letters, and 50 grand I've saved for emergencies. That safe's not just metal. It's my promise to her to always protect our daughter, Emily. Tuesday morning, my phone rang at 7 a.m., breaking the silence. It was Emily, my girl, 32, but sounding like a scared kid. "Dad, I'm so sorry to bother you," she said, voice shaking. "But Victor lost his job, and we're 3 months behind on the mortgage. Can we stay with you for a bit?" I could hear the shame in her voice, like she was letting me down. It tore me up. I pictured her praying Victor would get back on his feet, and it hit me hard. "Sweetheart," I said, "this is your home. Come on over." I hung up that old cop instinct buzzing. Victor's always been too smooth, like a guy selling you a car with a bad engine. Emily loves him, so I've kept my mouth shut. But Margaret's voice echoed, "Protect her, Henry." I couldn't shake the feeling trouble was coming with him. They pulled up that afternoon in a U-Haul boxes, stacked like they were moving in for good. Emily ran to me, her hug tight, whispering, "Thank you, Dad," her eyes wet with relief. Victor stepped out, gave me a quick handshake, cold and sharp, his eyes scanning my living room like he was pricing it. "Nice place, Henry," he said, too slick. "Must be worth a pretty penny." My gut screamed he wasn't just making small talk. Clara, my neighbor across the street, poked her head over the fence. She's 70 sharp as ever, and I helped catch a punk who broke into her garage years back. Henry's still playing knight in shining armor. She teased, then leaned in. "Watch out for strangers in your house, Henry." Her eyes flicked to Victor, and I caught the hint. At dinner, Victor leaned back all charm and said, "So Henry, that old safe upstairs, what's the deal? Got some family treasures in there." His smile was all teeth like a shark, sniffing blood. Emily laughed. Victor don't pry, but I saw him lean forward, eyes locked on mine. When I turned to grab the salt, I caught him in the corner of my eye, his hand brushing the safe on the shelf, quick as a snake. Clara glanced over her face, unreadable. My chest tightened. 30 years as a cop taught me to read people, and this guy wasn't here to play house. "Just sentimental stuff," I said, forcing a grin. But inside, Margaret's voice was loud. "Protect her, Henry." I looked at Emily, her face soft and trusting, and knew I'd do whatever it took to keep that promise. You know that feeling when you want to trust someone but your gut's yelling? They're bad news. That's me. A few days after Emily and Victor moved into my Coeur d'Alene house. Victor's shark-eyed question about my safe at dinner, his sneaky hand brushing it, keeps gnawing at me. 30 years as a cop taught me to spot a con, and this guy's not here for family dinners. He's after something, and I'm betting it's not my coffee recipe. Morning hits, and I'm in the kitchen brewing coffee, trying to keep things normal. Emily's upstairs unpacking, humming like Margaret used to, and it's a bittersweet jab to the heart. Victor strolls in, flashing that toothpaste ad smile. "Henry, nice setup," he says, leaning on the counter. "Old houses like this, you got good locks. Gotta be careful, especially at your age." That dig stings. I'm 68, not on my last legs, and I can smell a hustle a mile away. Got it covered, Victor, I say, locking eyes. There's a hungry glint in his, aimed at the staircase where my safe sits. My chest tightens, but I play it cool. Emily comes down, wrapping an arm around Victor, all smiles. Dad, this coffee's amazing, she says, but I catch her glance at him like she's scared he'll crack under the pressure of being jobless, scared of losing everything, not just the house. It kills me to see her like that, believing in him. Margaret's voice echoes, "Protect her, Henry." I want to give Victor a chance, but my gut's screaming he's playing us. That afternoon I'm doing laundry. Yep, I'm that dad when I find a crumpled note in Victor's jeans, a phone number I don't know, and $60K due this weekend scrawled in shaky ink. 60 grand. That's no small debt, and it explains why Victor's circling like a vulture. My hands shake, not from fear but from rage. Is he dragging my Emily into his mess? I pocket the note, my cop brain kicking in. I need proof, and I need it quiet. I'm out front, watering the lawn, when I spot Victor by the mailbox. He's not grabbing mail, he's fiddling with my spare key lockbox. He glances around, thinks he's slick, and slips the key into his pocket, hands trembling like he's wired. Saves me a trip, he mutters. This'll be over quick. My blood runs cold. That key opens my front door, and he's not planning a pizza run. I keep watering, acting clueless, but my mind's racing. Who's he working with? Then I see him slip upstairs while I'm still outside. Through the window I catch him in my bedroom, hovering over the safe, testing the handle, but not opening it. He's quick back downstairs before Emily notices. My heart pounds. He's bolder than I thought. Back inside Emily's sorting boxes, her face tired but soft. Dad, she says, voice low. I know we're a burden. Victor's trying so hard. Her voice cracks, and I see her fear not just for money, but for the life she's built with him. I hug her, say, "You're never a burden, sweetheart." But inside, I'm torn. Part of me wants to grab Victor, demand answers. The cop in me says, stay sharp, watch his every step. Before bed, I check the safe. There's a new smudge on the handle, a faint fingerprint, not mine. Victor's been here, and he's not done. Margaret's ring, her letters, our life, it's all in there. He thinks he can take it. Not while I'm breathing. I promised Margaret I'd protect Emily, and if Victor's the wolf I think he is, this old dog's got teeth sharper than he knows. You ever hold on to something so precious, it feels like it's anchoring your whole damn life? That's my Margaret's safe upstairs, sitting there like a piece of her I can't let go. After catching Victor sneaking around my mailbox and pawing at that safe, I'm on edge like a cop back on the beat. That crumpled note in his pocket, 60 grand due by the weekend, has my blood boiling. He's not just some down-on-his-luck guy. He's a snake, and I need to know how deep his fangs go before he bites my Emily. It's late, the house quiet except for the creak of old floorboards. I'm standing in my bedroom staring at the safe, its metal glinting under the lamp, like it's daring me to act. I run my fingers over the handle, and there it is, a smudgy fingerprint, not mine. Victor's been at it again, bolder than I thought. My heart sinks not just for me, but for Emily, who's sleeping down the hall, thinking her husband's a good man. I close my eyes, and I'm back 30 years in a hospital room with Margaret. She's frail, her hand cold, as she slips her wedding ring into my palm. "Henry," she whispers, "keep Emily safe. She's our world." She gave me a letter for Emily, sealed to open when the time's right. That ring, that letter, they're in the safe, and I'll be damned if Victor gets his hands on them. I shake off the memory, my cop brain kicking in. Victor's not working alone. That note screamed trouble bigger than one guy. I grabbed my old laptop from the closet. Yeah, I'm old school, but I still know a trick or two. Back in my detective days, I learned to tap into phones. Nothing fancy, just enough to catch a crook. I sync Victor's phone to my laptop using a backdoor app I kept from the force. Takes me 10 minutes, hands steady despite the rage. There it is, a text thread with some guy named Rico H. Box sat has cash. Tuesday's the night. My stomach churns. Tuesday's when Emily's at her book club. Then Rico's reply hits like a punch. No 60K by weekend. Your toast. Vic, toast. I know that tone. I've heard it from lowlifes like Rico, a name I remember from a loan shark case years back. Dangerous the kind who doesn't bluff. My mind races. Victor's not just a thief. He's in deep with a shark, and he's dragging Emily into it. I want to storm down the hall, shove that phone in his face, but I stop myself. Emily's trust in him is blind, and without hard proof, she'll think I'm just a paranoid old man. That stings. Margaret trusted my instincts, but Emily might not. I can't lose her to this creep. I head to the basement, where I've got a hidden safe bolted under the floorboards. Nobody knows it's there, not even Emily. I move Margaret's ring, her letter, and the 50 grand from the upstairs safe to the hidden one. The old safe's empty now, a decoy for whatever Victor's planning. My hands shake as I lock it, not from fear, but from the weight of it all. This isn't just about money. It's about Margaret Emily, the life I swore to protect. Victor thinks I'm some doddering fool too old to notice his game. He's wrong. Downstairs, I hear Emily laugh, probably at something Victor said. Her voice is light, like she's holding on to hope. It breaks my heart knowing she's married to a guy who'd sell her out for 60 grand. I picture her face when she learns the truth, and it's like a knife. But I've got to play this smart like I did back on the force. Victor's got a plan, and now I've got one too. Who the hell is Rico? And what's Victor willing to do to save his own skin? I'm not waiting to find out. This old dog's already on the hunt. You ever feel like someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, make you doubt your own mind? That's Victor right now, playing me and my Emily like pawns. After that note about his 60 grand debt, his texts with some thug named Rico, and that fingerprint on my safe, I'm on high alert. He's planning to hit my safe Tuesday when Emily's at her book club, thinking I'm just a washed-up old man. I'm not fighting for cash. I'm fighting for Margaret's memory, for Emily's trust. But Victor's playing dirty, and it's got my blood boiling. Monday morning, I'm scrubbing dishes in the kitchen, keeping things normal. I hear Victor's footsteps, then a splash water all over the floor. Whoops, he says, holding a glass, that fake apology grin plastered on. I step forward to grab a towel, bam, my foot slips and I hit my knees hard. Pain shoots through my leg, but it's nothing next to the rage when I see Victor's smirk. Emily rushes in, eyes wide. "Dad, you okay?" she gasps, helping me up. Victor jumps in all crocodile tears. "Henry, you gotta be careful, man. Folks your age sometimes forget where they're stepping. Maybe see a doc." His voice drips with fake concern, but his eyes are ice cold. Emily's face crumples, worry carved deep. "Dad, he's right. You've been off, like forgetting where you parked the car." My heart sinks. I didn't forget. Victor moved that car yesterday, claiming he needed space. He's planting seeds, making Emily think I'm losing it. It's a gut punch seeing her doubt me. Her hands trembling as she whispers a prayer for him, hoping he'll pull through. Margaret trusted my gut, but Emily's wavering, and it hurts like hell. I want to expose Victor, but her faith in him's hanging by a thread. Push too hard, I lose her. so I swallow my pride force a weak smile. Maybe I'm distracted, I say, hating every word. That afternoon, I'm at the hardware store, moving fast. Victor thinks I'm slipping, but this old cop's got tricks. I grab UV-activated fluorescent paint nasty stuff that glows like a rave and sticks for a day. I get a spring-loaded trigger like a party popper. But this one's gonna hit hard. Back home, while Emily's buying groceries and Victor's job hunting on his phone, I rig the safe. The trigger's wired, so when the handle turns, that paint's blasting, whoever's dumb enough to try. I hide a UV lamp behind the bookcase, ready to light up the show. I test it in the basement, and when that paint glows neon green, I grin. Victor's banking on me sleeping Tuesday night. He's in for a neon wake-up call. Emily's back arms full of bags, worry still in her eyes. "Dad, promise you'll see a doctor," she says, voice breaking. "I can't lose you." It's like a knife in my chest. I want to tell her Victor's the threat, but I hug her, say I'm fine, sweetheart. Inside, I'm burning. Victor's messing with her head, and that's a line he shouldn't have crossed. Upstairs, Victor's on the couch, scrolling his phone. He checks a text, and his face goes pale, probably Rico leaning on him. He looks up, smirks. "Heard you took a spill, Henry," he says, voice slick. "Old folks need to take it easy. Bet you sleep like a log, huh? Makes things easier." Easier. That word's a threat. My fists clench, but I nod. Play the frail old man. "Yeah, I'm beat most nights," I say, watching his eyes gleam, thinking he's got me pegged. He's dead wrong. I'm a cop who's played this game before. Tuesday's coming, Victor, and your scheme's about to glow in ways you'll never outrun. You ever get that chill down your spine when you realize the guy you're up against isn't just a punk, but someone tied to real bad news? That's where I'm at, standing in my Coeur d'Alene house, knowing Victor's not just a lowlife trying to swipe my safe. His 60 grand debt, those texts with some thug named Rico, and that stunt making me slip in the kitchen have me seeing red. He's playing my Emily, like a fiddle, making her think I'm losing it, and now I've got that fluorescent trap set for Tuesday when he thinks I'm out cold. But last night, seeing him skulk outside my door on that old camera feed, I knew this was bigger than just Victor. I need to know who he's in bed with, and fast. It's Monday evening, sun's dipping low, and I'm out back, pretending to fiddle with the garden hose. Through the fence slats, I spot Victor sneaking out to the alley behind the house. A black SUV pulls up, and out steps a guy I'd know anywhere, Rico Salazar, a loan shark I tangled with back in my cop days. He's all muscle and menace, the kind of guy who'd break your legs for a late payment. Rico grabs Victor's collar, his voice low but sharp enough to carry. "$60K by Saturday, Vic, or I'm coming for you and that pretty wife of yours." My heart stops. Emily. He's threatening my little girl. Victor's hands shake, but he nods, muttering, "I'll get it, Rico." The old man's safe's loaded. I grip the hose so tight my knuckles turn white rage boiling over. Rico's not just after Victor, he's got my family in his sights. I flash back to a year ago, something Emily told me about Victor blowing their savings at a casino, swearing it was a one-time thing. Now I see him in my mind's eye, hunched over a poker table, eyes wild betting their future, while Rico's goons hovered. He didn't just screw up, he sold his soul to a devil like Rico, and now he's dragging Emily into it. My chest aches, thinking of her down the hall, oblivious, still believing he's her knight in shining armor. I want to barge in, shake her awake, but I know she won't believe me without proof. Not yet. Back inside, I'm in the basement, my old cop instincts firing on all cylinders. Victor thinks I'm some geezer who can't keep up, but I've still got my edge. I dig out a tiny security camera from my old gear, no bigger than a quarter, and head upstairs. While Emily's in the shower and Victor's out running errands, I slip into the bedroom and rig the camera in the bookshelf tucked between Margaret's old novels. It's got night vision motion detection and feeds straight to my phone, perfect for catching a snake in the act. I test it, and there's the safe clear as day on my screen, waiting for Victor to make his move. My hands are steady, but my heart's pounding. This isn't just about protecting Margaret's ring or the cash, it's about keeping Emily safe from a monster. I pass Emily in the kitchen, her eyes tired but soft, as she chops vegetables for dinner. "Dad, you feeling okay after that fall?" she asks, worry creeping into her voice. It kills me knowing Victor's got her thinking I'm frail. I force a smile, say, "Just a clumsy old man, sweetheart." But inside, I'm screaming. She doesn't deserve this betrayal. As I head out, Victor's back phone in hand, texting furiously. He doesn't see me watching, but I catch Rico's reply on his screen. "Bring the spare key Tuesday night. I'm coming in with you." My blood runs cold. Rico's not just a shadow, he's stepping into my house. My family. Victor looks up, gives me that smug grin, thinking he's got me fooled. He's dead wrong. I'm not just some old guy waiting to get played. I've got my trap, set my camera ready, and a promise to Margaret to keep. Who's Rico bringing Tuesday? And what's Victor ready to sacrifice? I'm about to find out, and they're gonna wish they never crossed me. You ever get that feeling when you're setting a trap knowing the guy you're after thinks he's got you beat? That's me, right now, holed up in my Coeur d'Alene house, ready to turn Victor's sneaky plan into a glowing disaster. After catching him with Rico in the alley, that thug threatening my Emily, and rigging my safe with fluorescent paint, I'm all in. Victor's got his eyes on that safe, thinking I'm some old geezer who's out to lunch, and tomorrow's Tuesday, his big night. But I've got my neon trap, set my camera hidden, and I'm not about to let him or his loan shark pal walk all over my family. It's Monday night, and I'm in the basement double-checking my setup. That fluorescent paint I rigged to the safe's handle is nasty, glows like a rave under UV, and sticks like a bad tattoo. I test the trigger with a stick, and boom, a neon green cloud explodes, lighting up the dark. I grin, picturing Victor's smug face covered in it. I haul the UV lamp upstairs, tucking it behind the bedroom bookcase, where it's invisible unless you're looking. My old cop hands are steady, but my heart's racing, not from fear, but from the fire of protecting Emily. Margaret's ring, her letter, our life. They're safe in the basement now, but Victor doesn't know that. He's walking into a decoy, and I can't wait to see him squirm. I'm cleaning up when I hear footsteps upstairs, too heavy for Emily. I check my phone, and there's Victor on the camera feed, sneaking into my bedroom while I'm out grabbing milk. He's bold, I'll give him that, hovering over the safe, running his fingers along the handle like it's already his. He mutters, "Piece of cake," that cocky grin spreading wide. My blood boils. He thinks I'm clueless, too old to notice him poking around. He scans the room, eyes darting, but misses the camera tucked between Margaret's novels. I hold my breath, praying he doesn't spot it. He doesn't just gives the safe one last pat and slips out thinking he's golden. I let out a shaky laugh, half relief, half rage. He's walking right into my trap, and he's got no idea. Emily's in the kitchen when I get back, stirring soup, her face soft but strained. "Dad, you're moving slow today," she says, worry creasing her brow. "You sure you're okay?" Victor's lies about my forgetfulness are sinking in, and it's like a knife in my gut. I want to tell her he's the one she should worry about, but her eyes are so tired, holding on to hope for him. It kills me, knowing she's married to a guy who'd sell her out to a thug like Rico. I force a chuckle, pat her hand. "Just old bones, sweetheart," I say, hating the lie. Inside, I'm torn. Part of me wants to spill everything, but I need Victor caught red-handed, neon-handed, so she'll see the truth. Clara, my neighbor, knocks on the door, her sharp eyes scanning the house. Henry! She says you always had a knack for catching bad guys. Remember that punk in my garage? I smile, but my chest tightens. She's onto something, like she senses the air's thick with trouble. Still got it, Clara, I say, keeping my trap a secret. She nods like she knows I'm up to something and heads off. Her words stick with me, catching bad guys. That's what I'm doing for Emily, for Margaret. At dinner, Victor's all charm, but his eyes keep flicking to the stairs. He leans toward Emily, voice smooth as oil. Bet your dad's got a fortune stashed in that safe upstairs, he says, like it's a joke. Emily laughs, but I catch the greedy glint in his stare. My fists clench under the table. He's so sure he's got me pegged, thinks I'm asleep at the wheel. I play along. Yawn, say just junk up there, but inside, I'm ready. Tomorrow night, Victor's walking into a glowing trap, and I'm betting that smug grin won't last. What's he planning with Rico, and how far will he go? I'm one step ahead, and this old dog's ready to bite. You ever lie awake at night, heart pounding, knowing you're about to catch a snake in your own house? That's me, Tuesday night, in my Coeur d'Alene home, pretending to sleep, while my trap's ready to spring. Victor's been playing me and Emily for weeks, sneaking around my safe, making her think I'm losing it. And now he's teamed up with Rico, that loan shark who threatened my little girl. My fluorescent paint traps rigged the cameras hidden in the bookshelf, and the UV lamps set to light up their betrayal. Tonight's the night Victor thinks he'll clean me out for his 60 grand debt. I'm ready to turn his world neon. It's 7 p.m., and Emily's getting ready for her book club, pulling on her jacket. Dad, you sure you're okay alone? She asks, worry in her eyes. Victor's lies about my forgetfulness have her spooked, and it cuts deep. I want to tell her the truth, that her husband's a backstabber, but I need him caught glowing for her to believe me. I'm fine, sweetheart, I say, forcing a tired smile. Just gonna hit the hay early. She kisses my cheek, and my heart aches. She's walking out, trusting Victor while he's plotting with a thug. As her car pulls away, I head upstairs, fully dressed, under the covers, my phone showing the camera feed, the safe, silent, waiting. At 2 a.m., the house is dead quiet, just the hum of the fridge downstairs. My phone lights up, motion detected. There's Victor on the feed, creeping into my bedroom like a damn cat burglar, his face all business in the night vision glow. My pulse races, but I keep my breathing slow, steady, playing the knocked-out old man he thinks I am. Then I hear the front door click, soft but unmistakable. Rico's here, using that spare key Victor swiped. My blood runs cold. Rico's no small-time crook. He's the kind who'd hurt Emily to get what he wants. His shadow slips into the room and he whispers sharp and low, "Grab the cash. Vic, and let's bounce." My hands clench under the blanket. They're not just after my safe, they're tearing into my family. Victor moves to the safe, his steps cocky like he's already won. "This old geezer's got no clue," he mutters, that smug grin I've come to hate. Rico snorts. "Hurry up or we're both screwed." I'm torn. Part of me wants to leap up, slam Victor into the wall. But I trust my trap. If I move now, Emily might not believe me, and Rico's dangerous. I picture her face crushed when she learns the truth, and it's like a knife in my chest. But I've been a cop for 30 years. I know how to wait for the right moment. My finger hovers over the UV lamp switch on my phone, ready to light them up. Victor's hand grips the safe's handle, his eyes gleaming like he's hit the jackpot. He thinks it's stuffed with cash. Margaret's ring, her letter, my life. He doesn't know it's empty, A decoy with that fluorescent paint ready to blow. Rico leans in impatient, his voice a hiss. "Open it, Vic. We ain't got all night." My heart's pounding so loud I'm sure they'll hear it. Victor's fingers tighten, and I can almost see his brain counting the 60 grand he thinks he's about to pocket. He's so damn sure he's got me beat that I'm just some old fool sleeping through his betrayal. My thumb's on the lamp switch, my trap's primed, and I'm holding my breath. This is it, the moment they think they've won, but they're about to get lit up like a couple of neon rats. I picture Margaret, her voice steady. Protect her, Henry. This isn't just about catching Victor. It's about saving Emily from a man who'd sell her out from a thug who'd hurt her. My gut twists, knowing what's coming will break her heart. But I can't let them walk away. Victor's hand starts to turn the handle so close to springing my trap. What's he gonna do when that paint hits? What's Rico gonna do when he's glowing like a busted crook? My camera's rolling, and I'm ready to flip the switch. This old dog's about to show these wolves how sharp my teeth are. You ever hold your breath, knowing the trap you set is about to snap shut? On a couple of rats? That's me, Tuesday night, lying in my Coeur d'Alene bedroom, pretending to sleep while my heart's hammering. Victor and Rico are in my house creeping toward my safe at 2 a.m., thinking they're about to clean me out for his 60 grand gambling debt. My fluorescent paint traps rigged, the cameras rolling, and the UV lamps hidden, ready to light up their betrayal. Victor's been playing me and Emily, making her think I'm losing it, while Rico's threats against her have my blood boiling. This is it, the moment they think they've won. But I'm about to flip their world neon. The camera feed on my phone glows, showing Victor in my room, moving like a damn cat burglar, all cocky steps and smug grin. Rico's right behind his bulk, filling the doorway, that spare key he got from Victor, letting him slink in. "Grab the cash, Vic, and let's bounce." Rico hisses, his voice like gravel. My pulse races, but I keep my breathing slow, playing the knocked-out geezer they expect. Victor's at the safe, muttering, "This old fool's got no clue," his eyes gleaming, like he's already counting the 60 grand. My fists clench under the blanket. He's not just after my money, he's tearing into my family. Margaret's memory, Emily's trust. Rico leans in impatient. "Hurry up or we're screwed." I'm torn. Part of me wants to jump up, slam them both, but I trust my trap. Emily needs to see the truth glowing bright, or she'll never believe me. Victor's hand grips the safe's handle, so sure he's hit the jackpot. He thinks Margaret's ring, her letter, my life's savings are inside. He doesn't know it's a decoy empty with that paint ready to blow. My thumb hovers over the UV lamp switch on my phone. Victor twists the handle. Boom! The trap springs, and fluorescent paint explodes like a neon bomb, coating Victor and Rico in glowing green. They stumble back, cursing hands swiping at their faces, but it's no use, that stuff sticks like a bad rap sheet. I hit the UV switch and the room lights up, their clothes faces, hands glowing like they're walking rave sticks. Victor's eyes go wide, panic replacing that smug grin. "What the hell?" he chokes, scrubbing at the paint. Rico snarls, "You idiot, you screwed us!" My heart's pounding, but I'm grinning in the dark. Gotcha. Then I hear the front door, Emily's back early, her car keys jingling. My stomach drops. She wasn't supposed to be here, but some gut feeling must have pulled her home. She steps into the doorway, tying her robe, and freezes, her face pale as she takes in Victor and Rico, glowing like toxic clowns in my room. "Victor, what the hell are you doing in Dad's room?" she demands, voice shaking with shock. My chest tightens. She's seeing her husband for the snake he is, and it's breaking her. I sit up, playing the startled old man. "Emily, what's going on?" I say, voice groggy but eyes sharp. Victor's mouth opens, then shuts, paint dripping from his hair like neon snow. Rico's frozen, his menace crumbling under the glow. A knock at the door makes them jump. Clara, my neighbor. Her voice sharp through the wood. Henry, everything okay? Heard a racket. Victor's eyes dart to Rico, panic doubling. They're trapped, glowing like guilty beacons. And Clara's nosy streak is about to make it worse. Rico hisses, "We gotta go now." But Emily's blocking the door, her shock turning to fury. "Answer me, Victor," she snaps, voice rising. I'm torn, thrilled. My trap worked, but gutted for Emily, her world cracking. I picture Margaret, her voice steady. Protect her. Henry, this is it. The truth's out glowing for all to see. Victor's stammering, Rico's panicking, and Emily's staring at her husband like he's a stranger. What's she gonna say when she hears the whole story? What's Victor gonna do now that he's lit up like a traitor? My camera's still rolling and this old dog's ready to show them justice bites hard. You ever see someone's world crumble right in front of you and it breaks your heart, even though you know it's gotta happen? That's me, Tuesday night, sitting up in my Coeur d'Alene bedroom, the air thick with neon green paint and betrayal. My trap just went off, coating Victor and his lone shark buddy Rico in glowing fluorescent gunk, their faces lit up like guilty clowns under my UV lamp. Emily's standing in the doorway back early from her book club, her voice shaking as she demands Victor, "What the hell are you doing in Dad's room?" Clara's knocking outside her nosy neighbor, instincts kicking in, and Victor's smug grin is gone, replaced by pure panic. This is it, the moment the truth comes out, and I'm dreading what it'll do to my little girl. I climb out of bed playing the groggy old man, but my eyes are sharp. What's going on? I ask, like I didn't plan every second of this. Victor's scrubbing at the paint neon green dripping from his hair like toxic snow. It's not what it looks like, he stammers, but his voice cracks. And Rico's snarling, "Shut up, you idiot." Emily's face is pale, her eyes darting from Victor to Rico, glowing like a couple of busted crooks. "Explain it." Then she snaps, fury rising. My chest tightens. I've wanted Victor caught, but seeing Emily's shock, her trust in him shattering hurts like hell. I know what's coming will break her, but I can't let these snakes slither away. I pull my phone from the nightstand, my hand steady, despite the ache in my heart. "Emily, sweetheart," I say soft but firm. "You need to hear something." Victor's eyes go wide, neon paint streaking his face. "Henry, don't," he starts, but I hit play. His voice fills the room clear as day from the recording I got Monday night. The old man's got no clue, he says on the tape, safes loaded with cash. Tuesday's the night when Emily's at book club. I'll use her as cover. Say we got a job out of state. Then Rico's voice. "No 60K by Saturday." "You're done, Vic." Emily's hand flies to her mouth, her eyes welling up as Victor's words hit like a sledgehammer. 60,000, she whispers, voice breaking. "You were gonna rob my dad." I see her mind flash back, and it's like I'm there with her. 2 years ago, Victor down on one knee in a park, promising her forever with that same charming grin. She'd come home glowing, telling me, "Dad, he's the one." Now that memory's crumbling, replaced by the glowing traitor in front of her. "You called my dad an old fool," she says, voice shaking with rage. "You were gonna use me to cover your tracks, to pay off your gambling debts." Victor's mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Just neon paint, dripping like his lies. Rico tries to bolt for the door, but Clara's voice cuts through. "I'm calling the cops." Henry. Victor's panic doubles, his hands shaking as he realizes he's trapped. Emily. I was desperate, Victor pleads, but his voice is weak, like a kid caught stealing. I did it for us. Emily steps forward, tears streaming, but her eyes hard as steel. For us, she shouts. You dared to use me to rob my dad, the man who took us in. You lied about everything. Her voice cracks, and I feel it like a knife. She's not just angry, she's broken. My heart's tearing in two, watching my little girl face the truth. But I'm proud of her fire. I've protected her this far, like Margaret wanted, but now she's fighting for herself. Rico shoves Victor, hissing, You blew it, moron! But Emily's blocking the door, her fury a wall they can't cross. I reach into my nightstand, pull out a sealed envelope, my hands trembling not from fear, but from the weight of what's inside. Emily, I say, voice low, your mom left this for you. I was waiting for the right time. Her eyes meet mine, confused, hurt but curious. Victor's still stammering Rico's cursing, but the room feels still like the truth's about to get heavier. What's in that letter, and how's it gonna hit Emily? My camera's still rolling, catching every glowing second of their downfall, and this old dog's ready to let the truth bite. You ever watch someone you love face a truth so ugly, it rips their heart out, and all you can do is hold them through it? That's me, standing in my Coeur d'Alene bedroom, neon paint glowing on Victor and Rico, like they're busted crooks in a bad movie. My trap worked, catching them, trying to rob my safe, and Emily's here, her world shattering as she stares at her husband, glowing green and guilty. She just heard my recording, Victor calling me a useless old fool, planning to use her as a cover to pay off his 60 grand gambling debt. Clara's outside threatening to call the cops, and I've got Margaret's sealed letter in my hand ready to give Emily something to hold on to. But right now, my little girl's breaking, and it's killing me. Emily's eyes are locked on Victor, tears streaming, but her voice hard as steel. You used me, she says, shaking. You lied, planned to rob my dad and drag me into your mess. Victor's neon-streaked face twists, his smug grin long gone. I was desperate. He stammers, hands wiping uselessly at the paint. I did it for us. Rico, glowing like a toxic thug, shoves him. Shut up, you moron! We're done! He tries to bolt, but Emily's in the doorway, her fury a wall. You're not going anywhere! She snaps, voice raw. I'm proud of her fire, but my heart's breaking. Her trust in Victor's gone, and I know that pain's gonna linger like a bruise. Clara's voice cuts through the door again. Henry, I've got 911 on speed dial. Rico freezes his menace, crumbling under the neon glow. Victor's eyes dart, panic setting in, but there's no way out. I step forward, holding the envelope, my hands trembling not from fear, but from the weight of what's inside. Emily, I say soft but steady. Your mom left this for you. I've been waiting for the moment you'd need it most. Her eyes meet mine, confused, hurt, but searching for something to hold on to. I hand her the letter, Margaret's handwriting faint on the front. For Emily, when she needs strength. Emily's fingers shake as she tears it open. Her breath hitching. She reads aloud, voice cracking. My darling Emily, life will throw you curves, but you're stronger than you know. Don't let anyone use your heart against you. Live fierce like your dad. Tears spill down her cheeks, and I feel Margaret in the room, her love wrapping around us. Emily clutches the letter, her eyes flicking to me, then back to Victor. Mom knew, she whispers. She knew I'd need this. I'm fighting tears myself, proud of her strength, but gutted by her pain. Margaret's words are giving her what I couldn't, a way to stand tall through this betrayal. Victor tries one last plea, his voice weak. We can fix this. I messed up, but I love you." Emily cuts him off, her voice like ice. "You don't love me. You used me to hurt my dad to save your own skin." She turns to Rico, glowing and pathetic.
"And you threatening me? Get out of my dad's house! Now!"
Rico's eyes narrow, but Clara bangs the door again, yelling, "Cops are on their way!" Rico shoves Victor, muttering curses, and they stumble out, neon paint trailing like evidence of their guilt. Emily's shoulders shake, but she stands firm, and I'm so damn proud. I pull her into a hug, feeling her sob against me. "I'm so sorry, Dad," she whispers. "I brought him here." My heart aches, but I hold her tight. "You didn't know, sweetheart. None of this is on you." Inside, I'm torn, thrilled Victor's exposed but hating the pain it's caused her. Margaret's letter was her anchor, just like I promised to be. Clara pokes her head in phone in hand. They're gone, Henry glowing like Christmas lights. Got it all on my phone, too. I nod, grateful for her sharp instincts. Emily's still clutching the letter, her eyes fierce, despite the tears. What's she gonna do now, with her world turned upside down? And what's in that video Clara's got? My trap's done its job, but this old dog's still got work to do to keep my girls safe. You ever feel your heart break and soar at the same time, watching someone you love find their strength through pain? That's me standing in my Coeur d'Alene bedroom, neon paint glowing on Victor and Rico like they're crooks caught in a spotlight. My trap worked, exposing their plan to rob my safe for Victor's 60 grand gambling debt. And Emily's here, her world shattered after hearing Victor's recorded voice call me a useless old fool and admit he'd use her as a cover. She's clutching the sealed letter from her mom, Margaret, that I just handed her, tears streaming, as she faces the husband who betrayed her. Clara's outside, her voice sharp about calling the cops, and Victor's smug grin is gone, replaced by panic. But it's Emily's pain that's killing me, even as I know this moment's gotta happen. Emily's hands shake as she opens the letter, Margaret's handwriting faint but steady, for Emily when she needs strength. She reads aloud, voice breaking. "My darling Emily, life will throw you curveballs, but you're tougher than you know. Don't let anyone use your heart against you. Live fierce, like your dad." Her tears hit the paper, and I feel Margaret's presence, like she's right here, wrapping us both in her love. Emily looks at me, eyes red but fierce. "Mom knew," she whispers. "She knew I'd need this." My throat tightens, pride mixing with pain. I'm gutted seeing her hurt, but damn, I'm proud of the fire in her eyes, just like her mom's. Victor's neon-streaked face twists, his voice desperate. "Em, I screwed up, but I love you," he pleads, wiping at the paint like it'll erase his lies. Rico, glowing like a toxic thug, shoves him. "You idiot, you blew it!" He snarls, eyes darting to the door. Emily steps forward, her voice cold as steel. "You don't love me, Victor. You used me to rob my dad to pay off your gambling mess. And you," she turns to Rico, "threatened my family. Get the hell out of my dad's house. Now!" Her words cut like a blade, and I see Margaret, in her strong unyielding. Victor's mouth opens, but nothing comes out, just neon flecks falling like his excuses. Clara bangs the door again. "Henry, cops are on their way," she yells, and Rico's menace crumbles. He grabs Victor, muttering curses, and they stumble out, paint trailing, like a guilty confession. Emily's shoulders shake, but she holds her ground, clutching Margaret's letter like a lifeline. I pull her into a hug, feeling her sob against me. "I'm so sorry, Dad," she whispers. "I brought him here, put you in danger." My heart aches, but I hold her tight. "You didn't know, sweetheart," I say. "None of this is on you. I'm always here. Inside, I'm torn, relieved Victor's exposed, but hating the pain it's caused her. Margaret's letter gave her strength, just like I promised to be her rock. Clara pokes her head in phone in hand, her sharp eyes glinting. They're gone, Henry, glowing like a couple of busted Christmas lights. Got it all on video, too. I nod grateful for her quick thinking. That video's gonna make sure Victor and Rico don't wiggle out of this. Emily's still holding the letter, her tears slowing as she looks at me. Dad, you knew, she says, voice soft, but strong. You protected me. I manage a smile, my own eyes stinging. Had to, kiddo. For you and your mom. She hugs me tighter, and for a moment, it's just us, like when she was little, before the world got complicated. But as the neon paint glows on the floor, I know this isn't over. Victor and Rico are out there, and Clara's video could be the nail in their coffin. What's Emily gonna do now with her heart broken but her strength found? And what's that video gonna do to those glowing crooks? My trap's done its job, but this old dog's still gotta make sure my girl stays safe. You ever sit back and feel the weight of a storm finally lift, knowing you fought like hell to protect what matters? That's me. 3 months after that neon-lit night in my Coeur d'Alene house, when my trap caught Victor and Rico red-handed, well, green-handed, trying to rob my safe. Emily's world fell apart, hearing Victor's recorded voice admitting he'd use her to cover his 60 grand gambling debt. And Margaret's letter gave her the strength to kick him out. Clara's video of those glowing crooks running off was the cherry on top. And now with the dust settled, I'm starting to feel like my home's mine again. But it's Emily I'm watching closest, praying she's finding her way back to herself. It's a crisp spring morning, and I'm in the kitchen brewing coffee like always when Emily comes down dressed for her new job at the Coeur d'Alene Library. Her smile's bright, like the sun breaking through clouds, and it's the first time in months I've seen her look so light. Morning, Dad, she says, grabbing a mug. Got story time with the kids today. I grin, my heart swelling. She's not just working. She's finding her spark again, reading to little ones, helping old Mrs. Patterson with her genealogy project. We sit at the table, and she pulls out Margaret's letter, now creased from rereading. Mom's words, she says, voice soft. They keep me going. Live fierce, she said. I nod, my throat tight. Margaret's voice feels like it's right here guiding us both. I think back to that night, Emily's tears, as she faced Victor's betrayal, her strength, when she told him and Rico to get out. It broke my heart watching her world crack, but I'm so damn proud of how she stood tall. I was torn then, thrilled to nail those snakes, but gutted by her pain. Now, seeing her smile, I feel a peace I haven't known since Margaret passed. I kept my promise to her, keeping Emily safe. But it's Emily's fire that's carrying her forward. Dad, she says, eyes meeting mine. You saved me. I'd have followed him into his mess if you hadn't stopped him. My chest aches, but it's the good kind of ache, like a wound healing. Clara swings by later, her usual nosy self, carrying a plate of cookies. Henry, she says, grinning, that video I took of those neon idiots cops loved it. Turns out, her shaky phone footage of Victor and Rico glowing like busted Christmas lights was gold. Rico, that loan shark I knew from my cop days, got nabbed for violating parole, his rap sheet's longer than a CVS receipt. Victor's facing a lawsuit from Emily for their joint debts, but with his accounts drained from gambling, he's got no fight left. Clara chuckles. They looked like glow-in-the-dark losers running down your street. I laugh, picturing them stumbling, paint dripping, knowing they're paying for crossing my family. Justice feels good, especially when it sparkles. Emily sips her coffee, her eyes softer now, I was so blind, Dad, she says, voice low. I thought Victor was my rock, but he was just weak. It stings hearing her admit it, but I see her strength, like Margaret's, shining through. Victor's cold, selfish plan to rob me and use her still makes my blood boil. Rico's threats against her, that gravelly voice saying he'd come for my girl, keep me up some nights. But they're gone, and Emily's here rebuilding. I'm at peace knowing I kept Margaret's promise, but I'm still watching, making sure no one hurts my girl again. As Emily heads out for work, she pauses, grinning. Dad, where'd you get the idea for that glow-in-the-dark trap? I chuckle, leaning back. That's a long story, kiddo, from my cop days. Her eyes sparkle with curiosity, but I just wink. What's in those old cop stories, and what's next for Emily, now that she's standing tall? My house feels like home again, but I'm keeping my eyes open just in case. This old dog's still got some bite left. You ever sit in a quiet moment and feel like the world's finally right again, like you've fought through hell and come out stronger? That's me now, sitting in the backyard of my Coeur d'Alene house 3 months after that neon-lit night when my trap caught Victor and Rico trying to rob my safe. Emily's strength, sparked by her mom's letter, sent those glowing crooks running, and Clara's video sealed their fate. Rico's in jail. Victor's facing lawsuits with nothing left. My house feels like home again, and seeing Emily rebuild her life is like watching the sun break through after a storm. But it's the little moments, the ones that feel like Margaret's still here, that keep me going. It's a warm spring afternoon, and I'm on the porch watching Emily in the garden reading to a gaggle of kids from the library. Her voice dances, her smile bright, just like Margaret's when she'd read to Emily as a kid. The kids laugh, hanging on her every word, and my heart swells. She's not just surviving, she's shining, finding her place after Victor's betrayal tore her world apart. I think back to that night, her tears, as she read Margaret's letter, telling her to live fierce. She's doing it, and it's like Margaret's right there, smiling down. But I'm still haunted by the pain she went through, the way Victor's lies cut her deep. I fought to protect her like I promised Margaret, but seeing Emily hurt was a wound I'll carry forever. I reach into my pocket, pulling out a small velvet box. Inside is Margaret's silver locket, a simple thing she wore every day, with a tiny photo of Emily as a baby tucked inside. I walk over the kids still giggling around Emily and kneel beside her. Sweetheart, I say, voice low, your mom wanted you to have this. She said it'd remind you to stay strong no matter what. Emily's eyes widen and she takes the locket, her fingers tracing the worn silver. Dad, she whispers, tears brimming, but her smile steady. It's like she's still with us. I nod, my throat tight. She always will be, kiddo. We sit there, the locket glinting in the sun, and for a moment, it's like Margaret's holding us both. Clara ambles over her usual nosy self with a grin as wide as Texas. Henry, you ought to start a glow-in-the-dark security company, she teases, plopping down with a lemonade. That video of those neon knuckleheads, cops, are still laughing. I chuckle, picturing Victor and Rico stumbling down my street, glowing like busted Christmas lights. Clara's footage didn't just nail Rico for parole violation, it tied Victor to his gambling ring, and last week the cops picked him up for aiding Rico's operation. He's got no money, no fight left, just a rap sheet and a divorce from Emily. Justice doesn't get much sweeter than that, especially when it sparkles. Emily looks over the locket now around her neck. Dad, you never told me how you came up with that trap, she says, eyes sparkling with curiosity. I lean back, grinning. That's a long story, kiddo, from my cop days. Let's just say I've dealt with punks like Victor before. She laughs, and it's the best sound I've heard in months. But inside, I'm still processing. I kept my promise to Margaret, protecting Emily from Victor's lies and Rico's threats. But it wasn't easy. Every night, I'd lie awake replaying her tears, wondering if I could have spared her the pain. Seeing her now strong like her mom, I know Margaret's proud. I feel her in the breeze in Emily's smile, and it's like the house is full of light again. As the kids run off, Emily sits beside me, her hand on mine. "Thanks, Dad," she says, voice soft, "for everything." My eyes sting, but I squeeze her hand. The storm's over, and my girl's standing tall. Victor and Rico thought they could play us, but they're paying the price, glowing or not. What's next for Emily with her new start? And what other stories from my cop days might come up? For now, my house is peaceful, and this old dog's ready to rest, knowing I kept my promise. You know, sometimes life throws you curveballs, but it's the fight for family that keeps you standing. That's what I learned sitting here in my Coeur d'Alene backyard, watching Emily shine like her mom Margaret, with that locket around her neck. Victor and Rico thought they could play us, rip us off, but they're behind bars now, glowing or not, because this old dog fought back with brains, not fists. Margaret's letter, her love, gave Emily the strength to rebuild, and I kept my promise to protect her. Family's worth more than any safe, and justice, well, it sparkles when it's done right. If this story of sticking up for what matters hits you, give it a like, share it with folks you hold close, and join me for more by subscribing. I'm Henry, just a guy who learned that love and a good trap can light up even the darkest nights. Thanks for listening.